Hello everyone. So I get an update here with a bunch of iPhones that I collected, and just to show you the difference and what's the recent years coming from Apple with the newest and latest as well. So you can see, a little bit of upgrades, downgrades, what I think that it is, and what you might think it is or might find helpful. You can see here I have a 16E and I have a 15 Pro Max and a 16 Pro Max and an Air and a 16 Pro. So 16 Pro and Pro Max are going to be, I don't have the Pro Max, but they are pretty similar except for the screen, higher screen. So here you can see the old design on the 16E with looks like an iPhone 13 with a notch, and then you have the 15 Pro Max and the 16 Pro Max, which biggest difference would be the new button to turn on the camera. And then the latest iPhone Air, you can see here on the Pro with a different design on the camera. You can see that actually the Pro is the thickest one from all of them, and the Air is the thinnest, I think, from all the iPhones. And then you can see that the Air, the 16E would be the lowest. So the thickness are going to be pretty much almost identical between all of them, except for the latest generation. You can see here the 17 Pro is going to be thicker than the 16 and the 15. So the Pro was getting thicker, and yeah, and they decided just to make one super thin and gets more thicker the Air. And you can see the 16E is thinnest one compared to the 15 or 16. And here I have all the iPhones here, which I'm gonna just turn on just to see if they look different from the first glance. So basically, what's the good thing about Apple? Maybe it's not a good as well. They have the same software for every iPhone that they release. So everything is the same. The difference would be only the outside. The inside of the software is the same for all of them, with some updates, maybe with the Apple Intelligence, that it's available only from the 15 Pro and up. So, which I think it's a hardware as well. So you can see here the 16E has a notch, and then the 16 Pro and 16 Pro, 15 Pro. And in the settings here, I think those are set up with uh, night mode, night shift, where the screen becomes more yellow. So I turn off that feature, and then you can see here that some of them they have the oldest software, some of them they have a newer software. So iOS 26, some of them is iOS 18, and in general, they would perform very similarly. You wouldn't see a huge difference in terms of software. You might see a difference. You can see here, small tweaks, small designs, um, and they react all of them the same. They're gonna be, super fast. All of them. They're not gonna be a huge difference in terms of how fast each is gonna be in the regular, usage. And if you go to any of them, you wouldn't see any difference in terms of performance, even if you're getting the latest and the greatest, and you wouldn't be able to see a huge difference in performance. Maybe you wouldn't even notice the performance because they're actually so fluid and so optimized that you're getting even an older iPhone is still gonna have really good experience. So it doesn't really matter mostly on the terms of how fast it is, or because you can update all of them with the latest software. So you can put any of them with iOS 26, and they're going to have exactly the same thing inside. So that's the beauty of Apple. It gives you exactly the same thing in terms of software, and it doesn't matter what iPhone you have, as long as it's supported. by Apple to update. So I think that with iPhone 17 came out, you can update to the latest software, even on iPhone 11 and up. So if you have an old one, an older iPhone 11, you still can update the software. You can see here multitasking is going to be the same, smooth and fluid. You turn all the applications and they're going to turn on automatically and work. So in this regards, they're all the same. I wouldn't make a difference between them, in terms of to get the fastest one or the latest one. So you can see here the iPhone 16e has one camera. It's basically the same as iPhone Air, which has one camera as well. And I would argue that you wouldn't see a difference between the camera quality because you're buying each of the phones for not for the camera. So you can see here, pretty much one is almost half the price of each. Not half the price, but it's a big difference in terms of the price. And then for the Air, you're getting thinner phone, but everything else would be, except for the screen, would be not an upgrade. The speakers are going to be better on the 16e. Even the camera, I mean, even the battery would be better maybe on the 16e. And the build quality, you know, I wouldn't say there's a huge difference in terms of you wouldn't see that you have a 16e, which is going to be feeling like a lot more cheaper. You wouldn't feel more cheaper. And then you have the gimmick on the top that would make the difference. Um, that you can see on the screen, you have the updated. Um, yeah, here goes the camera actually. You can see that you can zoom the same. You have the same features, and I don't think you would be able to see like a huge difference in terms of the quality of the camera. It's going to be a really good camera overall. I mean, it's going to be good phone, and if you want to if you're on a budget, you can just buy a used one actually 16e and save a lot more money. Or wait a little bit and get a Air used one as well if you want to get like a super slim phone with a really bad speaker and just one camera and you want to spend like a almost like a pro price just to get a thinner phone. I think Apple should get the next year should update at least get a better speaker. I know it's slim, but if you're selling like a top phone, you should get a really nice quality speaker for $1,000. A nice quality everything pretty much for $1,000. You can see here the 16 Pro Max and 15 Pro Max feel really good in hand, luxury. And some people will argue that the 17 Pro and Pro Max doesn't feel so luxury as before. And here's the 16e and the 17 Pro. I mean, you can see the difference, and the 16e, it's a little bit thinner than the Pro. I think the Pro has bigger battery, and you would have a heavier phone first of all because the battery and everything else. So, and then you can get the 16 Pro Max, and then you can see here the 16 Pro Max actually looks more elegant, and I think more luxurious and thinner than 17 Pro. 17 Pro has a specific design that for sure you would know that it's a 17 Pro. Looking on the back of the phone, maybe the Apple intention was that, so you could, get a refresh on the design on the back, so people can justify the upgrade for this year. You see the 16 Pro Max and 15 Pro Max are pretty much identical. You wouldn't see much difference except the new camera button they added in the 16 Pro Max that, you would feel that you would show off that this is your new phone. This is the new phone. So that's pretty much all what I had to say about all the iPhones. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you are happy, you can subscribe to watch more or like this just with this video or comment if you have any thoughts. Thank you very much.